Welcome, wanderers of the wasteland, to another settlement video. Today we are in the town of Salem. This was a viewer request. They wanted me to rebuild the town of Salem and literally rebuild all the buildings and give it kind of a witch theme. And I started to follow that idea and then just kind of, went off the hook a little. And you'll see what I mean in a few minutes. I started doing that. I started rebuilding everything. As you can see, the church in the background there was originally like a white building church, and I started rebuilding that as well as redoing all the buildings, and then a fun idea kind of sparked in my head, and I kind of went in that direction. So if you were expecting this to be a perfect settlement with everything hunky-dunky, you got another thing coming. And I apologize if that kind of disappoints the person who requested this, but hopefully once you see what I've done here, that'll kind of make up for it. So, yeah, Salem, as you know, this has got a history of witches and the witch trials and all that kind of stuff, and actually just right down the road is the Salem Witch Museum. We are actually in the town of Salem, and we are doing some extermination of some pesky little boogers here. So, I put a wall around the entire place. This was supposed to be a closed-off place, you know, trying to keep the devil out, I guess you can say. And I got a little warning sign here, which I don't really know what that's supposed to mean. I just kind of threw it in here. It's from the Raiders, and I thought it looked kind of neat. Kind of reminded me of from the movie Silent Hill and the video game Silent Hill and all that kind of stuff. So, alright, let's jump right into this. So yes, as you can see, we have a wall built around the entire place. This was supposed to keep out the riffraff and the non-believers, and yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff to cover in here. So I'm gonna start right off here in the diner. I rebuilt the diner and started adding all kinds of lights to it, and was gonna make this again fully functional. But as you can see, that kind of didn't happen. We got a whole bunch of dead bodies in here, and this town is basically more or less kind of deserted, but at least everything is rebuilt, I guess. Yeah, and so we'll understand what happened here in just a moment. But yes, I redid the entire church. It was originally one of those white, I don't know, wooden clad style buildings, and I replaced it with all stone because I simply just didn't have the proper textures in the wood to kind of make it an exact replica. So I kind of took some, I don't know, creative licensing, whatever you want to call it, expressions of creationism, artistic, creative, whatever. You get it. I don't know. It's early in the morning and I'm recording this and I'm not quite awake yet. But anyway, so we got the church there, and then we have this kind of gruesome scene here. Got a whole bunch of dead bodies all on stakes, all burning. We got some decapitation as well. And the reason being witches burn. So right there is your witch theme, and just as you can see, all the buildings have been rebuilt, and piece by piece, basically, if they could be rebuilt, I took them apart and rebuilt them, and started to fix them up and do all kinds of fun stuff like that. And so yeah, right out here, this was just kind of desolate land. I rebuilt this as well to give it kind of a nice green effect, and this was originally going to be some sort of, I don't know, picnic type area, but then that's when the idea struck and I went off on a severe tangent. I got a couple of crosses here that I built. Or I should say they come pre-built, I forget from which mod, and I made them much larger and stuck them out here. And of course we have little witches' heads right here on our sign warning people. So inside the Church of Salem, built in 1629, which, for you history buffs, that is when the town of Salem was founded. Yeah, I did a little history before I did this. So inside here, more dead bodies. Lots and lots of dead bodies. We have all kinds of people that came in here thinking they had sanctuary. But, as you can see, the preacher up here had other things in mind. We've got a shotgun here that he used to off everybody, and then his little 44 snub nose that he used to take his own life. Why? Because he was on the sauce, and he had a magic 8-ball that told him to kill everybody because they were all witches. So anyway, yeah, I kind of followed the same design plan of the original architecture of the original church and made everything basically an exact duplicate. With the exception of, I got the, I don't know what you want to call it, the levels of everything off just a little bit. Like if you look at the chairs here, they're actually kind of just floating. These are actually unscrappable. I could have used the disable command, but I decided to just kind of leave it and say, you know what, to heck with it. So anyway, we have the landing up here. I rebuilt all of that as well. Put the pews that were originally up here got to stay here, and again, everything was supposed to be all nicely redone and rebuilt, which it is. It just, you know, now it's got a little bit of a dark history to it. So there you go. So there's the church there. Again, in here, I started rebuilding. I took this all apart and rebuilt it, and then again, we have another dead body in here. This was going to be a retail store, but not anymore. Rob her now that she's dead. But one of the things I did throw in here was a fun little thing. I put an elevator up in here just because I could. So, yeah, there we go. Let's see. Oop, almost got myself crushed. Be careful there. Anyway, comes up here into the second floor, and again, this was all taken apart and redone. Fixed up the stairwell, everything. You can actually come into some of this building, but none of it's as nice looking as this, and so again, I redid all of this, and yeah. So everything's just kind of empty because this place has been kind of abandoned for a while, you know, judging from the sight of the skeletons and whatnot, that they all kind of went nuts and killed each other. I got a little clothing store in here that's just kind of randomly abandoned. And again, our witch's burn. So, down over this way, just another entryway. These buildings, I didn't really touch them. I just kind of left them abandoned, just because I thought it kind of fit in, and if I'm going to have everybody more or less be dead, you know, it just seemed like kind of a waste of time. I don't know. So, again, sorry for the person that was probably expecting me to have everything, like, fully functional and rebuilt, but I didn't do that. Again, we have another sign out here, some more of the wall. And so this building, I took apart piece by piece from what was here and rebuilt it exactly how Bethesda had put it in here. And there is some really funky angles in this thing that, like, none of it makes sense. And when you come in here, you can see, like, how the floor's kind of, like, all over the place. If I turn on my thing here, you have all kinds of weird, funky angles and pieces that are mishmashed together in weird positions that normally aren't, like, especially up here you have like all these trim pieces and whatnot that just don't flow together properly. Like, that's just how they piece this thing together. You can kind of see, like, up here in the corner and whatnot, but again, I did take it piece by piece and rebuild it and swapped it out, and even went to the original coloring of the building, which was like this kind of pinkish salmon color and whatnot. And I was originally going to turn this into a hotel until I started actually looking at the building and seeing how funky the floors and whatnot were, and it just was not going to work. So I just kind of left it empty. Over here, this one I started to rebuild again a little bit as well, and then that's when I got my idea for the witches basically killing each other, and just kind of left it. But again, this has been rebuilt and you can go into them. Same thing over here. Took this all apart using all my different scrapping mods, and the only thing I didn't really touch was this little terminal. I think I got rid of almost all of them throughout the entire settlement, but just decided to leave that one for whatever reason. I don't know. But over here, more fun stuff. We got this building over here. I started to repair this one, and I liked the way the destruction looked with the upper floor collapsed like that. So I decided to take some lettering here from, I think it's the Kuru tab, and it's written in blood that this person was a sinner. So they came in here and killed him and set fire to the place, and that was sort of their way of dealing with a witch, to get rid of them. Upper floor here, just kind of left all the trash because it looks like this basically all collapsed from the fire. So got a little fun thing going on there with that. Get out of here. And I did rebuild that house, the entire house. His name escapes me at the moment, but he's the guy that's basically running this whole town. He's like the sole survivor of the town. If you've never been here before, it's crawling with mirelurks, and he's kind of a little crazy. But he's got a fun little quest. If you follow it, I don't want to tell you too much, but you do get an awesome weapon from it. I will leave it at that. So if you've never done this before, definitely get your butt to Salem and be prepared for some craziness and a quite awesome gun that you get out of it. Out here, we got another dead body, just kind of randomly laying in the street. That I was not expecting that. I thought the door was going to open the other way. But inside here, just kind of left most of it. I did redo the staircase and all of the building. Like, everything has been more or less repaired and fixed and brought back to where it was, you know, pre-war, with the exception of some of the walls here. But for all the exterior, all of that has been done and fixed and replaced, and all of that is hunky-dunky. Go ahead and cheat and just kind of scooch out of here like that. And oh, I left a random panel from back when I was building. Let's get rid of that one. And over here, this person was apparently a witch, so they have been snuffed out and their building has been boarded up. Maybe they were boarded up in there alive, who knows. These people were a little crazy. This person was apparently really bad. They were also a sinner, so they were killed and put to the stake and then set on fire. Then back here, I replaced all the houses back here. I just kind of used cookie cutter houses versus trying to rebuild all the ones that were actually here. So I just used like actual whole pre-war houses and then added some of the stuff like the decks and whatnot. And same thing like out here out back. I did a little porch that kind of comes down this way and leads to the beachy area, and we got the docks back there. The only thing I really did back here was just kind of clean it all up and get rid of most of the debris. And again, basically just a whole bunch of cookie cutter houses, and then placed more skeletons all over the place. Same thing with this one, just another cookie cutter house. Didn't bother decorating other than leaving some trash in here and stuff like that. So pretty simple. Another little exit way for the wall here so that you can come down towards the docks. I guess they were a fisherman settlement type deal. So over here, just the back of the building, did a little repair work on there. And then all these houses in here, since I rebuilt his house, who's still can't remember his name. Anyway, I repaired these houses as well, rebuilt them exactly the way they were in the game, or at least as close as I could possibly get them. Again, Bethesda used some kind of funky architecture here and there, so things were a little weird. So yes, up here, a little extermination. Get rid of that guy, get some more hanging out. The invisible trees, get rid of all of them. I just do that for fun. So down here, the front of this house normally looks a little bit different. I kind of took some artistic liberties, I think that's the phrase I was trying to say before, and redid the front section here and put in some nice flowery garden beds, and we have some dead bodies because when the whole town went nuts and everybody was accusing each other of being witches, they were coming up here trying to either get to him or hide, because he has his own little bunker under his house. He basically sat there and sniped them all out as they tried coming up the stairs, one after another, just boom, 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 killed them all. And so yes, his house has been completely rebuilt. I actually had to raise the whole foundation up and bring it up, I don't know, probably in-game would be like maybe, I would say that's probably about 3 or 4 feet, in order to clear all the garbage underneath that I cannot get rid of. Like there's, I don't know, like ground-looking, yeah, all this kind of garbage here that you just cannot get rid of, so I had to raise everything up, but the house has been rebuilt. There is the hatch to get down to the basement. Actually, we can go see him, because I haven't done anything down here. And then we can figure out his name, because it's going to bug me that I just cannot remember what his name is. But, like I said, you do get an awesome gun from him if you do the quest that he has, which is right here in town. Barney! There you go. For some reason, I kept thinking Gregory. But anyway, so he's just kind of holed up in here. He hasn't been outside since I've started working on the town. I think I kind of scared him a little bit. But anyway, yes, the whole house has been rebuilt. Come up here to the upstairs. Had to kind of finagle the walkway up to the attic up here because the layout of the architecture of the house just did not make any sense. And I just kind of threw this here as just kind of a way to get up there. It doesn't really matter, doesn't make any sense, but this was actually a lot of fun redoing this house, because I always thought it was kind of cool that he was still here and had his house here, and it looked like it was in fairly okay condition until you know, come around back and see that it's all basically like falling apart. So, up here in game, vanilla game, sort of this graveyard exists. Like all the stones are here. I'm the one who added in the walls here and the pillars, or I should say the fence and the pillars here to actually turn it into like a nice little graveyard. Maybe it's Barney's family graveyard or something. The original founders of Salem. Who knows? So the big thing that I did, I had a little fun here, is if you are familiar with witch history, they used to believe that witches would float. And so if you were dunked in water and you floated to the top, you were considered a witch, and they would kill you. Which, at the same time, even if you weren't a witch and you knew how to swim, you still would be considered a witch. So it was kind of a win-win for the people who wanted you to die for being a witch, that you either stayed underwater, drowned, and died and were considered not a witch, or you swam to the surface and were considered a witch and died from hanging, burning, whatever. So, yeah. So I built this whole little dunking mechanism. It's got a chair attached to the end of it, and it kind of pivots here. We do have some torches here, at least the best I could build torches. I used the super mutant meat sack things, shrunk them down, and stuck some fire on them so that it kind of, from a distance, looks like, you know, burning torches. You know, gotta kind of do what you can in this game because I couldn't find torches anywhere. So we have an unlucky soul sitting right down there, and if we dive into the water, we have many souls down here that are just kind of, unfortunately, you know, met their demise by either trying to hide under the water to be convinced that to convince the people that they are not witches, or they were shown as being witches and died. So there we go. For some reason I couldn't turn my light on underneath while I was here under the water. But anyway, yeah, threw a whole bunch of dead bodies down in here to show that they've been going a little nuts with claiming people to be witches and whatnot. And so there you go. This was a settlement that initially was going to be a full-fledged, successful, independent, thriving settlement, and they kind of went a little nuts and all started claiming that everybody was a witch or the devil or a sinner, and they basically imploded on themselves and killed themselves one after another. Oh, crazy, crazy stuff. There you have it. That's my whole take on the settlement here at Salem. So let's go ahead and get a little aerial view so you can see my whole little shebang here and make sure I didn't miss anything. But yeah, there you go. There's the whole wall surrounding the whole place with just a few little entryways. And like I said, the Witch Museum is somewhere over there. I can't see it now because it's out of focus, but it's down in here somewhere. And yeah, there you go. So there is Salem. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope the person who requested it is not too angry with me for kind of going off the wall on this one. But I had a lot of fun. I thought it was pretty interesting and pretty entertaining and whatnot. Every once in a while when somebody does give me a request like this, I try to follow it as much as possible. Do occasionally just kind of wing it and go in my own little direction despite them requesting this or that. But I try not to. But in this case, it was just too much fun to not do something like this, so there you go. Coming up next, we have Nuka-Cola World. We have the Red Rocket truck stop at Nuka World. That was also a viewer request. I do not remember exactly specifically what they wanted me to build there, so I just kind of winged it and did my own little take on that whole settlement. And then after that, we have a really odd request for a wrestling settlement. To kind of clarify, they wanted me to do something like WWF, which is old school. That's what WWE is was known for way back in the day. Kind of whole wrestling arena event type thing with you know, entryways, fireworks, the whole shebang. And oh man, I put a lot of work into that. I'm still working on it. All kinds of craziness on that one. That one's just completely silly, but very, very fun. I think you guys are going to like that one. And then after that, I don't know. I'm kind of shopping around at different settlements, so if you have any ideas of something you would like to see me build, please leave it in the comments below, and I'd be happy to give anything a try, just about. And yeah, we're also working on Adam Cat's Garage. As of watching this video, we did a live stream yesterday for a little while, and I think we're going to be wrapping that one up soon, because there's not a whole heck of a lot more that I really want to do with that. And then we're off to Hangman's Alley. I'm going to do some live building there on Hangman's Alley. When I mean live is, you know, where you can actually watch me build it, my little Let's Build videos. And then, yeah, I will throw in an occasional live stream on that one as well. So lots and lots of good fun stuff planned. As I've said before, I made the announcement I am working on my own board game. It's going to be a little while before anything really comes to fruition. I'm still currently working on the designs of that. And then we're going to be doing it on Kickstarter. So hopefully you guys are going to be interested in it as I bring some information forward to you guys. I've also going to be launching Spoonerdee.com. I just bought the domain the other day for 1 penny. That's all my name is worth. Maybe someday it'll be worth a lot. We'll be able to triple that to 3 cents. Who knows? But a lot of my board game information is going to be presented on there, as well as just random shenanigans from, you know, my channel and whatnot. So hopefully once that website goes live, you guys will have some fun perusing that. And yeah, there we go. So again, if you guys have any requests of place you would like to see me build, please leave it in the comments below, and we'll see what we can do. Until next time, don't get irradiated.